Hello, and welcome to WTH Three Roses Podcast. We are your hosts, Deb and the Twins. Let's talk news, politics, culture, entertainment, and WTH moments. Yep, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's get started.
Welcome to Three Roses Podcast with Deb and the Twins. What are we talking about today, ladies?
We are talking
eating cats
and
dogs.
Dogs and cats. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the eating of the dogs and the cats statement. And from my understanding, what I've seen in the last couple of days, these people, as opposed to correcting, I honestly believe that during the debate, I think he was supposed to say geese. They had actual video of someone who was dark complected walking with a geese. That's pretty close. But my problem being, I got my glasses on. All right, let me start over. So my problem is I wanted to talk about the cats and dogs comment during the debate from former President Trump. My issue is that they've basically upheavaled this entire community. If you listen to the actual reports where actual adults are speaking, the governor came in and said that the Haitians are legal migrants. They are here as temporary protected status, and they were brought in order to work, and that's what they're doing. So they are legal. That's the first thing, because the whole thing about illegal crossing border did not make sense to me. And I think that my problem being is that it's old racial trope and things that they're saying about, whole communities. They've had to, children have had to not go to school. They have hospitals calling in with emergencies. They've had death threats. These people
They've had bomb threats.
These people are totally afraid. And the only thing they're doing is coming into a small community that could not accommodate the need in order to bring their city, their area back into something that is economically sound. That was the purpose of them bringing those people there to work, to take care of the deficit of them not having enough people to work. And what they ended up doing just to get clicks and to divert from that terrible debate that he had was to basically make these people boogeymen. And so you have them all on TV trying to defend themselves and say, hey, but, we're hardworking people. Have we heard this conversation before? This stereotype is awful. We're offended. Why won't the people who are in charge actually be adults and say that they had a mistake? Nothing's collaborated. And I do have a problem with that. And it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. Sure.
Yes, I agree. The people are afraid. And we have heard this before. Instead of it being the Haitians, it was the Blacks. And I'm not sure why when one or two people that are of a color does something that does not abide by the law, it's all synced together. So it's all inclusive. Whereas it's the Blacks that did it. It's the whole community that did it. It's the Asians. Asians. It's the Haitians. It's the Latinos. But it was one or two incidents. Now that one or two incidents has brought down the whole community. It's now the Haitians. And
you collaborated the one or two incidents. That's it.
No, but it was only one incident, and this was a mentally disturbed lady,
right?
And it was in a different part of Ohio,
right?
And then there was another incident where there was a Haitian man. He had a geese.
Right, and those are because I researched it. I looked it up. I know they had the people at the city council that probably were paid, allegedly. But I looked it up, I researched it. Those are the only 2 incidents that I found regarding that. And now, because these 1 or 2 people did this, and mental illness is real. Now it's the whole community of Asians. And like I said, we have heard that before in the Black community. One person in the Black community does something, it's now the Blacks.
Right. My problem is that even when you have the truth, even when the Springfield police came out and said there's nothing to substantiate this, there are no incidences happening, they will not back down. I mean, you have the truth right there in front of you, and you refuse to say, "Oh, I was wrong." Oh, okay. Now I did see that, that there has been an increase in Haitians in that community, and and I think they are saying that they could need some assistance, in that area. Okay, provide the assistance as needed, but let's not go out and tell lies. And then when you have the truth, you refuse, you double down. You refuse to say, "Oh, I made a mistake." Who wants someone like that in office? And we're talking about Trump and Vance. And Vance, if you've seen some of his interviews, I'm like, do you want this person to be second in command? If something happens to Trump, I think he's probably even more dangerous than Trump.
And what they're doing is that they're turning, instead of saying, "I apologize for the situation, I was not accurate about the situation," they're turning it, the media is turning it into something, well, this is what Trump always does. He says something off the wall so that people can start it can start being noticed, so that these people can start being helped. What? So they're turning something negative into a positive instead of coming out and saying, "Hey, he made a mistake. He was wrong. I apologize." Because what's happening is that there's a threat now to the Haitian community, the same way it was when he said something about the Asians. There's a threat now. So now they're walking afraid. They're doing interviews, but they're not showing their faces. They're not giving their names, because so much stuff so much stuff is now occurring in the neighborhoods that they live in.
So for me, I think that I want to go all the way back from the very beginning, because I'm not going to give them. I'm not going to give them that out. That actually what is happening is that he made a mistake. This is on purpose. This was deliberate. This is racist, and is hemmed in white supremacy. You know exactly what you're doing. You could not get any traction in order to deflect from that debate. The debate that went terrible for him.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, you want to and the only thing you want to do is deflect. And to deflect, the easiest thing you can do is deflect and make the boogeyman the people that your folks that will vote for you have no problem seeing them as barbaric. Anything that does not look like them, they have no problem with actually believing, no matter how many times they're shown proof. They have no problem believing that these brown skin, unlike my skin looking people have to be barbaric. This has to be the truth. So they lean into the racism that these highly educated, highly skilled people who were brought here by the government, who are here legally, now have to be a scapegoat in order to deflect from that bad debate. So you are again being a bully and a racist. And I got a lot of problems with that. And I'm not leaning into anything that comes close to saying that any of this was true, because those are educated people. They knew what they were doing. It's enough, just like anything with a stereotype, it was enough there to then try to pretend like it was more than what it really was. And the sighting of the young lady or a female who had mental health issues that skinned a cat, and the man walking with a geese, and you get to they're eating and killing our cats and dogs and their pets.
Mm-hmm.
I got a problem with that.
Right, exactly.
And what we need to do is we need to stop giving excuses or trying to rationalize what they're doing. It is exactly what it looks like.
Right. Well,
It is
that's
racist.
what the media is doing. They're trying to give an excuse of why he said this
Well,
instead of coming out saying what it is. He's a racist. He's a bully. That's
well, I mean,
what they're doing.
can they really tell? Can they really say their former president and current and VP potential are racist? Can they say
No, they're
that?
never going to say that. That's the reason why they're coming up with excuses.
And I mean,
No, I think it's just a scapegoat. I mean, again, he lost the debate. He wants to take the attention off of that, and he talks about the cats and dogs, and is continuously in the media. And then just what last night, he goes online and he says, "I hate Taylor Swift." I mean, what grown a man sits back who's running for a political office, the highest office in America, and you're going to go and you're going to make immature statements like this? I'm going to say immature, uneducated statements like this. Who wants this person with this caliber of mentality, morals to be their president?
quite a few. It works. It works.
Yeah.
They know that the simplest BS works. It's plain and simple.
I don't get it though. I don't get
It doesn't work for all people. So why does it
Yeah.
work for him? Is it the money? It's the fame? When you read the comments, regardless, they're still supporting him, and I don't know why. Uneducated,
No,
has not since answered a question. I think at one point they said he wanted to have another debate. Now he's saying no more debates. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But he has his followers, and a lot of his followers look like me, and they're going to vote for him.
a lot of his followers look like you.
Yeah, they do.
Well,
if you read the comments, not unless they're writing one thing in the comments, and they're gonna, when they go to the polls, they're gonna do something else. Well, when I'm reading the comments, a lot of them look just like me.
My theory, and just me, because I knew going into this. That's why I have not been gung ho about this anyway, because this is a huge leap for this country in order to actually have people go in and vote to elect Vice President Harris. It is a leap. We know that. We're not silly. But my problem being is that his followers, and I know that y'all look tense every time I bring this up, but the reason why the stupidity and the silliness works is because it's wrought in their racism and hysteria. And it doesn't have to be anything more deep or complicated than that. If you listen to them, if you're not, and the thing about people, African Americans or Black people who are still carrying that as well, in my opinion, I will be nice. Because what I need you to do is crack open a book and find out about your dang on race and your history of where you come from, and stop playing games with these racist behind people who really want to take people out. Play games if you want to. Play games if you want to. And this is not a scare tactic. But we have a lot of people who are, as what they used to say back in the day, because I keep saying they're not necessarily uneducated. But what did they used to tell us? That you educated, your school learned, but you're an idiot when it comes to social. Tell me how it go. You don't remember?
I don't know. What you talking about?
You got common sense, but you don't have street sense.
You got common sense, you ain't got street sense.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you obviously, so I can't give it to them that these people aren't educated, because a lot of these people, if you look at it, they are educated academically. Why they're choosing for people that look like us, in order to continue holding on to this stuff when it is just as obvious as day what is happening. And again, I'll make this statement that the Democratic Party was okay with making sure they did what needed to be done for Black folks.
Right.
That has never been the case. But I can tell you back from our history, our ancestors, they did hold their nose and they made the political choice to go vote for people that they knew would allow them to live and not destroy them and their legacy. Plain and simple. This whole thing here is about destruction, which is rolling back all the things that we will talk about later, politically, policy, and all the gains that were made in order for the three of us, who are all educated graduates with degrees, were able to accomplish. And my problem is we have lost something. Leadership in the Black community, and also the ability for folks to stop doing this stupid behind, and I'm going to cuss, reality TV show bull. Because what has happened is that it has allowed people to become so ridiculously unconcerned about anything other than a dog blasted laugh, and not care anything about anyone that's not theirs.
Right.
And in this world, we as a people know that we're not going to be able to exist and continue to thrive with the numbers they're saying that we're about to go into as a race, a whole race. We can't survive unless we have each other looking out for each other. And we've lost that some way.
We lost it.
Somewhere, somehow. I'm done.
And there you have it. Thank you for tuning in to WTA's Three Roses podcast.